Welcome to Austria and the 31st edition of the Kitzbüheler Alpenrallye, one of the most famous classic car events in Europe, which together with the iconic Hahnenkamm downhill ski race makes Kitzbühel a legendary destination. Wonderful scenery, perfect timings, good weather, good people. Simply amazing. And the start can be very explosive. We had some problems at the start in the morning, but that was it. Now we're ready again. Better to have some issues in the morning before the start than during the race. 169 vintage cars are starting this year's Kitzbüheler Alpenrallye to take on the challenge of some new routes in the road book, including the highlight of a first ever circuit through the old Kaiser's Spa at Bad Gastein. But what does a competitor truly need for such a classic rally? Well, most certainly some good oil and fuel, but more important is to carry enough Prosecco and water. That's all you need. And of course, tactics also play an important role on this Alpine rally. We're driving the casualness tour. We're not driving consistently. We're driving casually consistently. But the rules of this particular game are certainly not casual. On the road, it's all about the latest technology. The whole route is being recorded, not only some deviations, but the whole route afterwards. The computer analyses everything, searching for lines and timings. Preparations for the start of the race are in full swing, and all the participants are completely focused. Chrome, leather and shining steel combined with a challenging drive on the most amazing alpine routes around Kitzbühel. Those ingredients are exactly the reasons why this rally is one of the most famous and well-known classic car events. 3 days of racing through spectacular scenery is on the agenda, with the rally offering a fascinating mix of vehicles for the fans to enjoy as the old-timers begin their incredible journey across a variety of world-renowned alpine mountains. And how about this 360-degree perspective of a Maserati 450S built in 1958 with 280 PS and 4.9-litre cubic capacity? A huge variety of car makes are the trump card of the Kitzbüheler Alpenrallye. 26 different makes were at the start. The strongest old-timer is a red 1972 Lamborghini Jurama 400 GTS with 365 PS and a 4-litre engine. And the least powerful is this 1958 VW Brezelkäfer Cabriolet with just 30 PS and a 1.2-litre cubic capacity. On top of that, the participants are from 8 different nations, including the Italian police, on a secret mission. Good day, good day. Yes, we are here as well. Yesterday I had an interview with the Italian television. They asked me, why are you here in an Italian carabinieri or police car? Well, we are trying to find some special squad people who were part of the Mille Miglia. You know, that very fast race with a lot of speeding fines from the police because everyone was driving too fast. And we are now looking for some of those drivers from that race I mentioned who still have outstanding penalties and haven't paid their fines, in lira of course, and they're hard to find, but we will keep on searching. We won't give up. Time then for a lunch break in Bad Gastein, and the fans have the opportunity to see the classic cars close up, while the competitors rest, recharge and cool down.
The car runs great. Last year the air conditioning worked, this year it doesn't. So that will be his project for this year.
What if he makes a mistake now? Then we are making mistakes together. You're very tolerant today, I have to say. She doesn't really mean it. You know she'd take my car away from me. So how exactly do you drive a Maserati 450S? You step on the gas once and then it really takes off. You know the saying, you need to feel it in your backside. If you start feeling it in your backside, it's already too late. The amazing landscape around Kitzbühel, along with the beautiful weather, is seducing some of the participants to really open up. The technique here is to keep it as smooth as possible, and that's a real challenge for each racing team and its vehicle. The secret to success in this race is the steering and the right application of speed. The most consistent and not necessarily fastest driver has the best chance to win the Kitzbüheler Alpenrallye. The total value for all 169 classic cars taking part in the rally is around 30 million euros. The love these enthusiasts feel for their cars can't be expressed in money though. This love is endless and the cars are beyond price. The fans are enjoying a wide range of open-top racing cars, elegant tourers and limousines. Most popular are the amazing sports cars, coupes, roadsters and cabriolets of the 50s and 60s. With so much love for their cars, it's no surprise that the owners sometimes lose all sense of perspective over them. For some though, the age-old problem of man versus machine was making progress very tricky indeed.
Ist einfach ausgegangen, stehen geblieben.
It just stopped and, well, we don't know what it is yet, but we hope that the breakdown service will arrive as soon as possible. Or we can get the car to run again. We will see. Until now, all was fine. Even a Bentley sometimes needs special treatment. The engine is running, the drive shaft as well, but there's nothing coming from the back. Something in the differential must have broken. I shifted down once at the tiny hill and suddenly nothing was working anymore. How's it going with the heavy foot? Well, yesterday our heavy foot was working perfectly. We had some very fast rides with some cars from the pre-war period. For me, those large pre-war Bentleys are amazing. How fast they are on the road. I have to say, they keep us very busy. And driving a beautiful 4.2-litre Jaguar E-Type S1 with 260 PS was the former F1 driver and Le Mans winner, Germany's Jochen Mass. Well, I'm used to everyone calling me a heavy foot, asking if it's even possible to drive slowly, etc., etc. But for me, it's more about the aesthetic driving with those classic cars. That's what it's all about. You don't have to drive fast to get that special feeling. Those cars are simply top cars, built in the middle of the 60s. It's wonderful. Each participant must study the roadbook carefully. If you don't follow the information precisely, it's easy to drive in the wrong direction. In order to be able to steer these special classic cars that don't have power steering, you need to be extremely strong in your upper body. You also need a good eye driving the bends, as you can't always see exactly where you're going. Elegance and sportiness combined with daring technique through the middle of the Kitzbüheler Alps, all wrapped up in 3 days of racing for the petrol heads who love their chrome, old leather and the smell of burning rubber. The freedom of the open road with the wind blowing through your hair as you become one with the landscape. That's the beauty of the Kitzbüheler Alpenrallye. There are some risky sections though through the Alpine passes to get the pulse racing, as the drivers fight varying and challenging road conditions in these wonderful cars. Then they can relax while they drive through lush, green, scenic valleys. After 3 days and almost 600 kilometers, it's all about avoiding any mistakes heading towards the finish line. At the last time control before the finish area, the participants are being fully inspected from all sides by racing commissioners, rally fans and classic car enthusiasts. Over the last kilometres, it's all about full concentration on the closing stretch. It was an amazingly varied and diverse field taking part in this year's Alpine Rally, an event full of adventure, sporting endeavour and some real automotive luxury, as the participants drove wheel to wheel alongside some well-known and familiar faces from the world of motorsports through the fabulous landscape of Kitzbühel as they all approached the finish line. The grand finale and the finish area was packed with crowds enjoying the vehicle parade through the old town of Kitzbühel as 169 classic cars arrived and took a bow to celebrate finishing the Kitzbüheler Alpine Rally of 2018. The 572 kilometers over 3 days are now just a wonderful memory. All the participants arrived safe and sound at the finish to close this elegant rally in style. And for these dedicated enthusiasts, the race was at an end. And what about the results? Well, third place went to the Carabinieri and that agent on a secret mission, Austria's Alexander Linz. Buongiorno! Second place was claimed by Schorsch Memminger from Germany and his beautifully purring 1951 VW Brezelkäfer. And this is what champions should look like, as this year's winners, driver Knut Hennecke and co-driver Patrick Weber from Germany, crossed the finish line in their sublime 1966 Triumph TR4 IRS. This is a real Triumph IRS built in 1966 with a proud 103 PRS. It ran perfectly and the driver felt more than comfortable in Kitzbühel. And that's all for this year's rally. We'll see you again in Kitzbühel in 2019.